This is the CISSP preparation course, part of the DoD 8570 certification series. Here are the requisite copyright notices. And we'll talk a little bit about the exam, what you can expect to see on it. The intent of this course is to provide a review of the CISSP Common Body of Knowledge, CBK. It's meant to supplement what you are already doing to prepare for the exam. There should be two sources of information that you use for reviewing. That makes sure you address any gaps in that. This course can be one of them, but go grab a book, some other online job training, whatever the case may be. Go find a second source as you prepare for the exam to make sure that you're covered. Through the 8 areas on the exam, the domains of the exam are security and risk management, asset security, security engineering, communications and network security, identity and access management, security assessment and testing, security operations, and then the last one is software development security. Again, consider using multiple sources of information as you prepare for this. Understand that the scope of the common body of knowledge is this big. This course is actually going to provide some subset of that as you're going through and preparing for this. What that leaves is a gap in between what this course covers and what's on the body of knowledge. And that's why there's a recommendation that you look for a second source of information as you're preparing for the exam to make sure you're covering that gap. The requirements for obtaining your CISSP certification: you have to be endorsed by an existing CISSP member. You have to pass the exam, and you should be familiar with all of the material on the CBK, or within the CBK, those 8 domains that we just talked about. You also have to have some level of work experience. Out of the 8 domains, you've got to have several years of experience in at least 2 of them. And then, of course, as with any certification, you have to pay the annual maintenance fees in order to maintain your cert. The exam itself is about 6 hours, 250 questions spread out over those 8 domains that we mentioned. There are 25 questions on that won't be graded. There are test questions or experimental in nature. ISC squared's just testing out new material. And you've got to get 700 out of 1,000 in order to pass the exam. The Candidate Information Bulletin, something you should go and download, covers the logistical information about the exam, how to get into the center, what requirements you need to have or need to meet in order to take the exam. And it lists the key areas of knowledge, but it is not a study guide. So it won't actually help you pass the exam, but it will give you some pointers for where you should go or what areas you need to study. And then it has a complete list of references in there. So if there's an area that you're not familiar with, you can look at the references and go grab that piece of information and take a look at it.